signed a contract between production house, which is under my brother, and DOT. Hindi po totoo yan. It is between PTB4 and DOT. It's not, the contract was between DOT and PTB4. It was a government-to-government contract. It went to a bidding, and it was reviewed by our legal. All checks were made payable to PTB4. Wala pong cheque na pumunta sa ibang production house. So, and it was done when we issued the check once the deliverables were met. Wala po problema kami sa COA namin dito. It's probably the COA of PTB4. I think doon siguro dapat kayo magtanong because with our COA, okay po yung kontrata namin with PTB4. Yung mandato po ng DOT is to promote Philippines through local and international. That's why meron po kami mga commercials na ginawa. In fact, I would like to let you know that yung commercials namin with anak placements, we had with ABS-CBN, we had 23 million, and included ang GMA dyan. And then we also had TV commercials and features. CNN Philippines, 20 million. CNN International, 51 million. Discovery Channel, 51 million. BBC, 61 million. Last year, 2017, 561, 476, $705 million po ang ginamit namin for US, China, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, and other markets. Yun po ang gusto kong i-clarify because yung statement po na parating kinukuhaan sa akin, nahirapan na po kasi ako every morning, madaling araw, tatawag po ang mga station, tatanungin what happened is that contract between your brother and DOT. Hindi po totoo. I'd like to make it clear na ang contract po was with PTB4 and DOT because yung request po ng Presidente is we support the government station. Yun lang po.
The Secretary has time for a few questions.
Kasi sa totoo lang, hindi po ito nakaschedule but I have to clarify kasi po ang dami nang lumalabas na medyo nahihirapan na po ako dahil it's, I think, very malicious yung mga statements made.
People are raising the issue of either incompetence on your part because you might not have known PTB would place the ad in your brother's programs or conflict of interest because clearly you're a tulfo and then the ad was placed in a program hosted by the tulfo brothers. So, wala po ba kayong bilan sa PTB na put the ads in your brother's program?
Okay, ganito po yan. I don't think it's incompetence on my part. Being a Secretary of Tourism, ang dami pong trabahong ginagawa. Hindi lang po itong pwede kong bantayan at tuunan ng pansin. First, I didn't know that nung binigay namin ang kontrata, it was specified, yung anong program that yung sa brother ko, Kilos Pronto, because mataas ang rating, I was told. And then they told us that gagawa sila ng mga show. So, yun po, because the contract was between PTB4 and DOT, wala na po akong pakialam kung ilalagay nila sa kapatid ko. So, there is no conflict of interest because at the end of the day, the contract was between PTB4 and DOT.
Yes.
Your brother, I think, came out with the live video, I think yesterday. There was a few series copy of hiding the DOT Secretary Police. How do you see this?
Hindi, I don't think that's true. Siguro, that's why I've been calling my brother, medyo off ang phone niya. Hindi naman ako maniwala na gagawin ni Yusek Pompe yan. Iba naman yung kapatid ko, iba rin ako. I trust that he's going to work with me, we're going to work together.
Can you just educate us somewhat about how well do you know Yusek Pompe?
Sa totoo lang, of course, nang pinasok siya sa akin, hindi ko nga talaga kilala. But then, syempre yung kanyang malawak na pagkaalam sa ano to, then I'm okay with him. At the end of the day, he was placed there by the President, and it's the prerogative of the President.
Third question.
I would like to ask you, talagang po ba mga tao na behind the speaker ang delineation of your comment kung kayong naiisip na tao na Kasi critic
Sa totoo lang, nang sinara ang Boracay, I know it was coming. Marami po, in fact, I had death threats. Pero hindi na lang po ako umiimik. Marami po kasing natamaan sa pag-close ng Boracay. So, ang isa sa mga, I know that that's part of it. Second is, meron po akong tinanggal na USEC. I know it could be part of it. And then, of course, yung mga kapatid ko po ay napakatapang. Marami pong natamaan ng mga government officials, mga ibang tao. So pag hindi nila po matamaan yung brother ko, sa akin siguro po sila nako. So I think this is part of working in the government, and because this is part that I have brothers who are very strong, hard-hitting, and of course the last is Erwin being ranked as number 7 in senatorial slate. I think this could be a part also.
Okay, we'll take on the press con. Secretary really has to rush to a meeting of Yusek Lavinia, Yusek Kat, and myself.
Kat, can you...
Start with the good news that will say that share with us with regard to the development of Miss Universe.
We have a good chance of hosting it. It's just me and the Miss Universe organization trying to iron out a few details. We will eventually announce it in due time. Another thing, World's Strongest Man is still ongoing right now in the Philippines. If you can join us in all of the events of World's Strongest Man, it's happening right now until May 6. It's free admission. Thank you.
Okay, Yusek. Well, are there anybody would like to ask a question from Yusek Lavinia?
Can you identify yourself first?
I'm Cherry Antones from ABS-CBN.
Yes, Cherry.
Sir, can I just get your side of this? The same question that I raised to Secretary today about the likelihood.
Repeat the question. What's the question for me?
The statement or the accusation hurled against you by broadcaster Tulfo. In this video, he said that you are eyeing the police secretary post, and you are behind the media, the information about this power report that allegedly you gave this information to the secretary.
First of all, you heard the secretary. She doesn't believe it. In fact, I had a private conversation with the secretary, and she has suspicions on who leaked out the data, and it's not me. Secondly, I don't know anyone from COA. I don't even know where their office is. I don't even know who the commissioners are right now. And for anyone to claim that I have any influence of over the COA is, I don't know what the basis is. Thirdly, I'm probably all anyone has to do is Google my name and ABS-CBN or Inquirer and Rappler and would know that I'm probably one of the most unpopular people in Yellow Media. So how can I influence COA somehow and then have the Yellow Media released it? The first time I saw the article was when it came out 2 days ago. That's the least of my concerns. I'm here only because the President put me here. I serve at the full pleasure of the President. He has trust and confidence in me. And that's all that matters. Nobody else's opinion matters to me, really.
Just a follow-up on this, sir. Just for the record, the allegation that you are eyeing the people, is there really such a belief and ambition that is arising?
That's not my ambition in life to be Secretary of Tourism, but I will not tell you what it is.
Ang inyo pong napanood ay ang media briefing ng Department of Tourism. Kanina ay nandyan si Secretary Wanda Teo at ang nagbigay siya ng pahayag tungkol doon sa sinasabing kinwestiyon ng Commission on Audit na 60 million pesos na budget para sa advertising na pinasok sa PTV4 at doon daw umano sa show ng mga kapatid ni Secretary Teo na sina Ben at Erwin Tulfo. Ang paliwanag po dyan ni Secretary Teo, wala daw diyaang conflict of interest dahil ang naging kontrata naman ay sa pagitan ng DOT at PTV4. Ang paliwanag niya, hindi naman daw
Which is basically, she said she needed help in getting more investments. Wala daw problema sa arrivals. Now, there's some other things that's basically what we agreed on, region. Medyo ayoko na mabigat muna ng trabaho. So that's kind of light. Is it, Rick? Is it, or did I make a mistake? Regions and China seems like a small enough space where I can have some achievements for the secretary. I mean, all my achievements will be for the secretary and the president, right? Small enough space to get my feet wet and yet have some real numbers. Now, they also put here farm, faith-based tourism, and ecotourism. And actually, I got a call from Gina Lopez outside. So I don't know if she still plans to give this to me also, in addition to China and the regions. I wouldn't mind, although I don't, huh? China, mabigat. Oh, yeah. Nasasama daw kami ni Sek eh, pag ano na. So, yun. So, farm, I have 6,000 trees in Cagayan de Oro I planted, so that should be something. Faith, well, let's not talk about faith. What's the other one? Ecotourism, of course, something close to my heart. That's why tumawag si Gina. Oh. And Gina, I will help in ecotourism, don't worry.
Okay, we have time for a few more questions.
Will be the one responsible also in the Boracay issue once it's finally we have the discussion?
Well, ultimately, the one responsible is the secretary, di ba? But being in the regions, I guess that would be part of my responsibility. So sustainable tourism there would be part of that. So in that sense, yes. Unless they decide to put Boracay in a special zone, but that would be a nice challenge to get it up. You know, I'll tell you this. With tourism, we can wipe out poverty in the next 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So that's the reason why I agreed to come here, even though I had actually asked for something else, something more quiet, far away from the media. But the president said, go there, help Secretary Wanda. So since I'm here already, that's what I'll do. That's my main objective here. Kung anong magagawa natin para tulungan yung mga kababayan nating mahirap through tourism. It's a low-lying fruit. You can be a high school graduate with a laptop or an iPad or a phone nowadays, what, 5,000 pesos? And the world is your market. And you have the best product in the world. Unique, given by God, di ba? There's no other Boracay. There's no other Palawan. There's no other, you know, Cagayan de Oro and all its attractions there. So all you have to do with social media now, you know, anybody can create their own jobs. Anybody can get themselves out of poverty in 3 months out of high school. Or if you're really like my father, who worked even when he was in high school, while in high school. So that's what's driving me here. Nothing to do with what some journalist said, you know, the emotional outburst. Right? So, hindi importante sa akin. Importante yan sa akin is the secretary and I have an understanding, and we all both understand that we're here at the pleasure of the president. Simple as that. I have no control over COA. You know I have no control over ABS-CBN, right? So I would have no control over the Inquirer. I would have no control over Rappler. In fact, if you ask those outfits, they say I'm the evil genius, right? That controlled social media and made the president win. So that's a very, I don't know where that's coming from, really. And I'm friends with Tulfo, the other brothers there, you know. So actually, Mon is actually happy I came here, you know. So I've never met Ben.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Thank you.